Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome back to Danish Learning Wala. I am Dr. Danish Ali Mazhar and today we are going to discuss a topic that can transform both our personal and professional lives. Understanding emotional intelligence, what it is and why it matters. In today's fast changing world, technical knowledge and academic qualifications are important, but they are no longer enough. The ability to understand our emotion, manage stress, communicate effectively, and build healthy relationships become one of the most valuable skills for success. The ability known as emotional intelligence or EQ. In this conversation, I will discussing emotional intelligence with ChatGPT to understand what it is and why it matters, and how can we develop it to become better professional leaders, teachers, students, and human beings. So let's begin our discussion. My first question is to what is emotional intelligence and how is it different from IQ?
Checking. Emotional intelligence, often called EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, manage, and use emotions effectively, both your own and other people's. It helps you respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. IQ, on the other hand, measures cognitive abilities like logical reasoning, problem solving, and analytical thinking. So you could say IQ helps you solve problems, whereas emotional intelligence helps you handle people and relationships. Both matter, but emotional intelligence often determines how well you grow, lead, and collaborate.
Why has emotional intelligence become such an important skill in today's world?
Because the workplace and really life in general is more collaborative and fast paced. Technical skills get your foot in the door, but being able to work with different personalities, handle conflict, and stay calm under pressure is often what decides success. Emotional intelligence is what keeps teamwork functional and relationships healthy. It's what turns raw talent into sustainable success.
What are the five main components of emotional intelligence?
They are self awareness, self regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. These five work together like interlocking gears. If one's weak, the others don't run as smoothly. For example, self awareness helps you notice your emotions, self regulation helps you manage them, and empathy helps you understand other people's emotions.
How does self awareness help us make better decisions?
When you're self aware, you recognize what you're feeling and why. So you're less likely to make rush decisions, say out of stress or frustration. Instead, you pause, label the emotion, and consider whether it's clouding your judgment. That space gives room for clearer, more balanced thinking.
What is self regulation and why is it important during stressful situations?
Self regulation is the ability to manage your reactions. So, not suppressing emotions, but steering them so you don't blow up or shut down. And during stress, that's huge because it prevents impulsive reactions that you might regret later. It helps you pause, breathe, and respond thoughtfully instead of reacting on autopilot.
How can people improve their ability to control emotions without suppressing them?
Start by noticing what triggers you. Name the emotion. That alone lowers its intensity. Then use simple techniques like deep breathing, counting to 10, or taking a short walk before responding. And reframe the situation. Ask, what's another way to see what's happening? Over time, these habits help you steer emotions instead of bottling them up.
Why is empathy considered one of the most valuable qualities in personal and professional relationships?
Because empathy lets you understand someone else's perspective and feelings and respond with compassion instead of judgment. At work, it builds trust, reduces conflict, and makes collaboration smoother. Personally, it deepens connection because people feel seen and heard. Without empathy, relationships can feel transactional.
How does emotional intelligence improve communication skills?
When you manage your own emotions, you listen better and don't interrupt or get defensive as much. You pick words that match the mood and the message, and you notice other people's cues, tone, pace, body language, so you can adjust in real time. That makes conversations clearer, calmer, and more persuasive.
Can emotional intelligence help resolve conflicts more effectively? If yes, how?
Absolutely, yes. It helps you pause instead of reacting, listen to understand, and say what needs saying without attacking. You aim for common ground because you're not just hearing words, you're hearing feelings. Conflicts then shift from me versus you to us versus the problem.
What role does emotional intelligence play in leadership and team management?
Leaders with strong emotional intelligence read the room well. They motivate without pushing too hard, give feedback without crushing morale, and spot burnout before it spreads. Teams led that way tend to trust more, talk more openly, and perform better because people feel respected and understood.
Why do employers increasingly value emotional intelligence alongside with technical skill?
Because technical skill gets the work done, but emotional intelligence keeps teams working well together. Employers want people who can collaborate, adapt, handle feedback, and keep stress from spilling over. So, the sweet spot is sharp expertise plus solid people skills. That combo makes performance sustainable, not just impressive on paper.
How can teachers use emotional intelligence to create a better learning environment?
Teachers can tune into students' moods and energy, respond with empathy, and set a tone where questions are welcome. Mistakes are seen as learning. That's emotional intelligence in action. It calms anxieties, encourages curiosity, and makes feedback feel supportive instead of threatening. When students feel safe, they engage more and take intellectual risks that lead to growth.
How does emotional intelligence contribute to students' academic success?
It, yes, it helps students manage stress before exams, stay motivated when the work drags, cooperate in group projects, and handle setbacks without giving up. Instead of spiraling into I'm bad at this, they bounce back quicker, ask for help when needed, and focus on progress, not perfection. That steady resilience often makes a bigger difference long term than raw smarts alone.
What impact does emotional intelligence have on mental health and overall well being?
Generally positive. Higher emotional intelligence is linked to lower stress, less anxiety, and better coping skills. People who can name and process their feelings usually rebound faster from setbacks, feel more in control, and maintain healthier relationships. It's not a magic shield, but it definitely buffers daily life and supports long term well being.
How can emotional intelligence help us deal with criticism and failure?
It helps you pause instead of snapping back, separate the message from the sting, and ask what's useful here. That mindset turns criticism into input and failure into information. Instead of spiraling, you regroup, learn, and decide the next small step. And that keeps confidence intact and momentum moving forward.
Is emotional intelligence something we are born with, or can it be developed over time?
It can definitely be developed. Some people have a natural head start, but practice like mindful listening, reflecting, and asking for feedback can strengthen it a lot over time. It's a skill, not a fixed trait.
What are some practical daily habits that can help improve emotional intelligence?
Try a quick daily check in. What am I feeling? Why? Practice active listening in conversations. Try a brief journaling habit to reflect on reactions. And one small empathy exercise. Imagine how the other person might be feeling. These little practices build over time. Tiny, steady gains that make a real difference.
Finally, if you could give me only three golden rules for developing strong emotional intelligence and living a happier, more successful life, what would they be?
First, practice self awareness daily. Name your emotions before they name you. Second, listen first, speak second, especially under stress. Third, treat every setback as feedback, not a verdict. Do those three consistently, and the rest tends to follow.
Thank you very much, ChatGPT, for this insightful discussion on emotional intelligence.
You're welcome, Dr. Mazhar. Glad it was helpful.
Okay. Until next time, take care. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Take care.